I've heard Danny and the Miracles at Kansas and some of the other things. Am I cynical a little bit? Yeah, because the 5 days before it, the 5 games, 5 days before it, to go with the next 6, 11 straight games. And anytime you lost, didn't make a shot, missed a foul shot, whatever the case may be, you're going home. 11 times we did. Tell me how many times you've ever seen that in college sport. And led by a guy, the Velvet Sword. He'd cut you, but you wouldn't feel it because you'd be smiling the whole time. Special guy. And special young team. People forget. They said, the backcourt that good? Well, let's see. Jeremy Lamb's averaging 14 points a game with the Pacers, by the way. Shabazz is now the Puerto Rican national team, but a 7-year pro. And KEMBA Walker's an all-star. So I think that's a pretty good backcourt. Matter of fact, you and I both know it's a terrific backcourt. And I just think that, and then we have a kid, Alex Oriaki, 6'10". We had one of the leading rebounders in the country, Roscoe Smith. We had really good. Giffey, who's now a big star over in Germany. We were really good. And I don't know if people realize when they broke that team down, when you get like 7 or 8 of the guys, four that go into the NBA, 4 or 5 go over Europe and play, making money in basketball. You know, if you have a KEMBA Walker, it's really good. If you have a Shabazz Napier, who later would become a first-team All-American, you're pretty good. If you have a lottery selection in the draft like Jeremy Lamb, yeah. Any one of those individually, like Book Night this year, are great. By the way, we had 3 of them, and then we had a front court of guys who were just on the edge of playing in the NBA. So but it was the more we won, the more we believed. And by the time we faced, I still see the Butler game. It's 19-18 at halftime. We can't do a thing. And then I say, I don't think we're going to score a lot, but let's hold them scoreless. Or let's make a possibility the next game. We ended up blocking or bothering some ridiculous figure. We blocked like 9 shots in the second half. And then I think we bothered ridiculous, like 14 shots. And so my point, and I've talked to Brad about this, Brad Stevens, the coach at Butler at the time, said we couldn't get a shot off. And that's all we did. We just said, we'll get our points, don't worry, we're good enough, we'll go by them. And that second half, I mean, they shot something like 19% in the second half. They couldn't get a shot off. We just, we knew how we had to win. We played Kentucky a couple nights before then, a game which is a little misleading. They scored 4 or 5 points at the end, which really didn't count. We won the game. But we kind of got into a faster pace game in the 70s. This game was in the 30s late, and everybody says bad basketball. What's one way to interpret it? I would think the best defense a team of mine under those circumstances has ever played. It's going to sound strange to you. I always thought we played poorly if we sat out a game or 2. So you begin on a Thursday, I'll play a play-in game. I know it sounds crazy to you. I thought it was 2 different ways because I believe in my kids and believe in our program. That I in some ways, in many ways, I'd rather be playing than waiting. Mm-hmm. I know it sounds strange, but, that year I look like I'm being smart. And by saying we won 5 games, 5 days, we get 3 of them top 25 teams. But playing good teams and progressing. When we hosted the national championship, 11 games later in the national championship, a lot of that was predicated. You could not, in the NCAA tournament, put us in a bad position. We just played 5 games against some of the best teams in the country, best coaches company, and clearly one of the more hostile and home-friendly atmospheres you can play. So therefore, what are you going to throw us in the tournament? You couldn't throw anything at us that we hadn't seen and more. And I truly believe it's a great place for that.
People thought you were tired.
Tired of what? I told the kids, this is a true story. All right, we won 2, number 3 tomorrow. Some of you guys, newspaper guys, are going to say to you or people, you must be tired. Well, guess what? Your asses will be tired if I bring you back to campus and make you practice for 2 hours. Here, what a great opportunity. Here's what you're going to have. Going out, only 19,000 people there. National television, millions of people watching you. And you have the opportunity to have them yell and scream and love you and win games and win a championship. Why not us? A lot better than going back to stores, shut down. It was actually, during that time, it was the spring break. So I think back on it. Alternatives were easy. Stay in New York City, get great meals, play basketball, have people yell and scream at them, how great they were. Wonderful. And we really thought about that. we've had days where we practice 5 straight. And I'm not a guy who believes you wear a team out. The only way you wear them out, John, is this is where we started to become so much better at the end of the season. When we were first trying to, quote, prove ourselves in the early 90s, we worked so hard to prove ourselves, winning regular season championships, we might have not had enough, quote, gas. I never stopped what I was doing. I only took the pedal, the foot off the pedal on time-wise, not intensity-wise. And so I got my teams maybe a little fresher for the tournaments. And I do think there's a lot to that. You're asking about 20-year-old kids playing basketball before 19,000 people and a national audience. I mean, what's better than that?